Hey everybody, welcome to or back to my channel, My Kind of Stuff, and today we are going to be playing Love is in the TBR for September and talking about all of my other reading plans for the Romance Readathon. Alright, so last month was my first time playing Love is in the TBR for you guys. Like I said, I've been playing it on my own just to kind of test it out, see how it goes. The game was so nice to me last month. We ended up with only 4 books on the TBR, and I know I talked about adding like a layer of challenge for myself by saying that I need to read the books that the game picks for me that month, or I need to add an extra Kiss of Death space onto the board, and I do think that I want to implement that. I am happy to say, though, that I was able to read all 4 books. So let's talk about them. So in August, we had 4 books. I have 3 physically and 1 I read on Kindle Unlimited. So we'll start with that one. That was Alice the Dagger, and that was for the prompt weapon on the cover. Then I also had the prompt for a reread, which I read Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban for. We also had the prompt of a buddy read, and that was The Dead Guy Next Door by Lucy Score. This one I have not quite finished yet. I'm about halfway through right now. But there's still 4 days left in the month, and I easily read 100 pages a day, if not more, so I will blow through this one in no time. It will be done before the end of the month. And then also I have Edenville for the prompt was hardcover, and I did read that one as well. So yeah, August was really nice to us. That being said, let's start playing Love is in the TBR for September and see how it goes. All right, let's start with our first roll. Oh, a 1. Not off to a great start. So we got an X prompt, a standalone. All right, that should be pretty easy. All right, so roll 1 got us standalone, and that is an X prompt. For this, I am going to be reading Cold Storage. This one is actually a buddy read that I'm doing with Jenny from over at the Haphazard Book Nook. So she already read and annotated it, and now it's my turn. I don't know a ton about this one, but I do know there's like this forgotten basement somewhere that is holding a mutant organism that is capable of extinction level destruction, and someone accidentally lets it out, and this bioterror operator basically has one night to quarantine it again, or it's going to destroy all of humanity. So I'm really excited to get into this one. Let's go again. Well, that really went far. I got a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we got a Kiss of Death. So we're going to have to spin the spinner wheel and move all the way back to the beginning. All right, well, that's what I get for complaining the game was too nice to me last month. We landed on a Kiss of Death for roll 2. So not only do I have to move back to the beginning of the board, but I also have to roll my spinner wheel, and that spinner wheel consists of all of the series that I am in the middle of that have not finished, and I figured this was a fun way to kind of force me to get back into those worlds and continue. I will say there are definitely some scary things on this wheel. We have Priory of the Orange Tree series on there. We have the Stormlight Archives on there. So some really big books. Also Throne of Glass, which I guess singly those books aren't too bad, but I am at the point right now in the series where I'm at the tandem read. So if I get Throne of Glass, that's actually adding 2 books to my TBR instead of 1. So yeah, it's a little scary spinning this, especially because it is Romance Readathon time, and I want to try to prioritize books that are like in the 300 to 400 page range, just to try and get more of them read. And earn more points for Team Phantom. So yeah, let's spin the wheel and see what happens. All right, not bad at all. So we got the Undeniable series. I am going to be reading book 2. I read book 1 a couple months ago and absolutely loved it. These are a dark romance motorcycle club series that each book follows a different couple. Book 1, we followed the president of the motorcycle club, and now in book 2, we are following his daughter, and she falls for his like right-hand man. So I'm really excited. I know that he has like a traumatic past, and something very traumatic is supposed to happen between the couple in this series. I expect there to be a lot of emotion evolved in here, and yeah, I'm just really excited. That was honestly one of the books that I was going to have on my TBR for the month, whether this game picked it or not, because I think it works well for a lot of different teams' tropes. And yeah, that honestly, for A Kiss of Death, couldn't have worked out better. A 3. 1, 2, 3. A heart prompt. A book that has a prologue. Again, another pretty easy one. I think a very good portion of my books have prologues. All right, roll 3 landed us on a heart, which has a prologue. For this, I am going to be reading Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. This one kind of, when I was reading, skimming the synopsis, kind of gave me like adventure romance vibes. So our female main character, her dad is a notorious treasure hunter, but he's a very absent father, and basically they're gonna lose their family ranch because he's not around and he's not paying the bills, and she needs money, so she steals one of his treasure maps, and puts together this little motley crew to go find the treasure to hopefully get enough money to save her family's ranch. But one of the guys that is in this little crew is an ex of hers, and yeah, I'm just excited to get that second chance romance out of this. And who knows, it might work for some other teams' prompts as well. So another great pick for the romance readathon. Another 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank goodness we missed that Kiss of Death again. An X prompt, an audiobook. All right, really easy for me because I listen to a ton of audiobooks. All right, roll 4 landed us on an X, and the prompt is an audiobook. So for this one, I do have a physical copy of the book, but I will be listening to the audiobook on Hoopla. I read most of my books in audiobook form, but of course, I like to have my shelf trophies. This one, I am expecting all of the emotion and the feels from. Taylor Reed Jenkins can write some really sad, heartbreaking romances. But in this one, our female main character marries her high school sweetheart. They are happy, they are in love, and her husband is a production assistant for nature documentaries. And while he's off on one of his expeditions, he ends up going missing. He is presumed dead. Years later, she is trying to move on with her life. She moves back home near her family, meets someone new, they get engaged. Life is, finally going well for her. And all of a sudden, her husband shows back up. He was not dead after all. And now she has a really tough decision to make. And I am here for the drama of this book. I am so excited to read it. Another 3. 1, 2, 3. We've got another X, a booktuber favorite. I know exactly what I'm going to read for this. All right, roll 5 got us another X prompt, which is a booktuber favorite. For this, I will be listening to Claw by Katie Berry on Hoopla. This one is a favorite from Jenny over at the Haphazard Book Nook. She's been begging me to read it, and honestly, I can't wait. I don't know a ton about this one either because I don't really like looking into horrors too much because I feel like it ruins them for me. But I know that it is a creature feature and it takes place in like a small mountain town in British Columbia. And yeah, I'm really excited. I know this is a whole series, so this is book 1. If I really like it, I might continue on. All right, another roll. 4. Thank goodness, we're missing the kiss of death again. 1, 2, 3, 4. An O. Oh, I'm making a mess. A book that ends in even page numbers. This, it seems simple, but whenever I get this, I seem to have a hard time finding one because they always end in odd page numbers. All right, our next roll got us an O prompt, and that is ends in even page numbers. So for this, I am going to be reading Haunting Beauty by Kayla Rain and Meg Ann. This is book 1 of the Mate Games Death series. This whole world has multiple series in it. We had War was the first one, Pestilence, and now we are into War. I'm really excited for this. I believe book 1 follows Tor, which we've met in some of the past books. And he's like this Novus Guardian berserker, and he's just this big burly guy with long flowing hair, and I'm here for it. I'm so excited. This whole series is very spicy, paranormal, reverse harem, and it's just absolutely fantastic. It's a total popcorn read. I'm actually going to be getting the audiobook for this because this entire world has the most amazing audiobooks I've ever listened to in my life. They are a masterpiece. They are fully casted. The narrators are all amazing, the different voices, and it's just chef's kiss, top tier audiobooks. So I'm really excited to hop back into this world in this series because every single book has been so much fun. All right, so let's do one more roll. As long as we get more than, I think, a 1, we are off the board. So yeah, that could have been our last book. So let's just go do one more roll, make sure, and then we'll just do a quick recap. And our last roll, as long as we get more than a 1, we have completed it, and we did. We are off the board, and we have 5 different prompts. All right, so we are officially off the board. That means this month we got 6 books on our TBR. I have 3 of them physically, and then 3 of them I will be reading on either KU or listening to the audiobook for. So for roll 1, we got Standalone, so I picked Cold Storage. Roll 2 was actually A Kiss of Death, and we're going to be continuing the Undeniable series, so Unbeautifully is book 2 in that. Then we got our third roll, which was a book that has a prologue, so I picked Something Wilder. Roll 4 was for an audiobook, so I picked One True Loves. I do have the physical copy, but I will be listening to it on Hoopla. And then roll 5, we got a booktuber favorite, and for that one, I'm going to be listening to Claw. And then our last one, which was 6, was ends in even page numbers, and I'm going to be reading Haunting Beauty. All right, so this is Romance Readathon month. So I really want to try and get to a ton of books. So I will definitely be reading more than 6. There are a couple arcs that I need to get read this month, so let's talk about those real quick. The first one is Make Me a Mixtape by Jennifer Whiteford. This one is about this punk rocker who is now a barista. She's kind of working at her aunt's cafe, and she ends up coming into contact with this sound tech engineer who is he knows her from like her punk rock band days, and he was a huge fan. He wants to get the band back together, but our female main character is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because she's working at her aunt's cafe, and she basically has to like decide if she's going to sell it or if she's going to leave that behind and leave her kind of aunt's legacy with the cafe behind and try and get her career back in music. And I love like 80s hair bands, and I'm just hoping this gives me all of those 80s vibes, even though it's set, in more modern times. But yeah, I'm really excited to get to this one. All right, the other arc that I need to read this month is Fang Fiction by Kate Stamen London. Um, this one is about a girl who is obsessed with this uh, novel series called Blood Feud, about vampires, and she obviously doesn't think this world is real, but come to find out it is, and the sexy villain of these novels shows up and she needs to rescue him and like get him back to his world. So this sounds like a ton of fun. It's going to be very like Fantasia-esque, I think, because she's, ending up in this other world, and it's got like enchanted forests and secret islands and deadly vampires. And yeah, it just sounds like a ton of fun, and I can't wait to check this one out. All right, another book I will for sure be reading in September, because it is the pick for the Love and Horror Book Club that Jenny and I host, and that is Graves by Caitlin Taylor. Another dark romance. This one we are following two brothers. They are both obsessed over the same girl. And this book, Jenny actually gifted to me. She picked it up when she went to Sinners and Stardust, but it has all of these beautiful chapter headers in it. There's like so much different artwork. Like almost every chapter has like a different picture. But I don't know a ton about this one either. I know it is a male, female, male romance, so reverse harem. The one brother is obsessed with her. He sends his other brother to be like her protector, kind of like a bodyguard, but he ends up falling for her as well, and neither of them are willing to let her go. So I am super excited to buddy read this one in September as well. All right, so those are all like my must reads for September, but I do still have quite a few that I want to try and get read this month. The first one being God of Wrath by Rena Kent. This was technically in my video last month, but because Jenny went to Sinners and Stardust and we've been buddy reading the whole Legacy of God series, we weren't able to get to this one, so we really want to this month. This is an interconnected world. Every book in the series follows a different couple. Here we are following Jeremy, who is his family is like a mafia family. The book we just read was about his sister. So yeah, I'm excited to see where we go with this one because he is very like protective of his family, very broody, very angry. Um, Not someone you want to mess with. So yeah, I am really excited to get into book 3. All right, the next book I really want to get to, I don't have a physical copy of yet because I am waiting for Holly Renee to put out the hardcovers, but that is The Hunted Heir, which is book 2 of the Veiled Kingdom series. I It's so hard to talk about like book 2s in a series, especially when they're following like the same people, the same couple. But we have our female main character who is kind of on the run from her kingdom. She is the princess, but she's abused by her father, and he is out hunting for her. She comes across this rebel group, is able to like train with them, learn from them. They take her in. Then they end up finding out her secrets, and now she is on the run. So not only is the whole kingdom looking for her, but so is this rebel group. And the male main character, the male love interest from book 1, kind of did her really dirty at the end of book 1 and like it just the whole book got left on this huge cliffhanger, so I can't wait to hop into this one and see how that continues. All right, another book I really want to get to, and it's actually one of the buddy reads over on the Discord for the Romance Readathon, which I will make sure is linked down below so you guys can join. It's not too late, and you can really read whatever you want. You don't have to read romance, but you do get extra points for reading romance and certain romance tropes. But this book is Thrum by Megan Smitherman. This is supposed to be a sci-fi, horror, romance, fantasy, gothic, aliens novella. This just kind of sounds wild. I recently read Dead Silence, and honestly, like it's giving off in the description a lot of those vibes. Basically, our female main character is stranded out on the edges of deep space. She sends out a distress beacon because she's unable to contact Earth. And this being uh, with from another ship contacts her and offers to assist. So when she boards her ship, she realizes things aren't quite right, and as they seem, the halls of the ship are like a maze, and all of a sudden there's like this deep hum that begins to resonate in her and haunting her, and she's hearing whispers. So like it's just sounds really creepy, and it gave me like ghost ship vibes. But I assume there's going to be a romance between her and this otherworldly creature, I guess alien creature. So yeah, I'm really excited to check this one out, and the fact that it's a novella means there is a good chance I will be able to get to it. All right, the next book that I really want to get to is another new release, Clown in a Cornfield 3, The Church of Friendo by Adam Caesar. This is book 3 in the Clown in the Cornfield series. We follow Quinn, who has been there since book 1. She has been being chased down by Friendo, the murderous clown, and all of his like followers, and she's over it, right? She's done at this point. She knows that if she wants this to stop, she's going to need to take justice into her own hands. And I believe this is going to be the last book in the series, so I'm expecting like a huge finale, like a huge final fight. So I'm really excited for this. It is a YA slasher, so it's not quite as like dark and gritty as the slashers that I normally read. But I really loved book 1 and 2, and I'm excited to get into this one. All right, another book I really want to get to is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This is book 1 in the Fae and Alchemy series. I've been hearing such amazing things about this book, and it is another one that we will actually be buddy reading over on the Romance Readathon Discord. Our female main character here, she has, I believe, like some secret powers she doesn't want anyone to know about. She makes her way through life by pickpocketing and stealing. She somehow ends up accidentally reopening a gateway between realms and is transported to this fairy realm. I believe this is going to be like a more dark fantasy, paranormal romance. So there's going to be magic, fae, vampires. Our male main character has a crappy attitude, a murky past, and I believe he is out there trying to just like protect his people from this like century long conflict that's been going on. And he's also her ticket to get back home. So I'm really excited to check this one out because I've been hearing amazing things. It is a bit of a bigger book. I think it's like 600-ish pages. So we'll see. There is no audiobook for that one, so I have to read it physically. Yeah, I'm hoping to still get to it though. All right, another book that I really need to get to this month is Flawless by Elsie Silver, book 1 in the Chestnut Spring series. I have book 2 coming to me soon for the traveling book club that I am part of, hosted by Maggie for Maggie's Books and Stuff. So I want to get book 1 read first. I know this is generally the least liked one of the series, but I'm still excited for it. It is a Western contemporary romance. We follow a bull rider who is like the golden boy, but now he's kind of that all blew up in his face. He's been unruly and he has to clean up his image. And he's basically stuck being babysat by his like manager's daughter. And of course, a romance blossoms there. And I'm really excited to get into that one. All right, those are all the books I am hoping to read in September, mostly romance because it is a romance readathon month. And again, all the information for the romance readathon is going to be down below in my description. It's going to be a ton of fun. And again, you don't only have to read romance, but you do get extra points for that. And it's just going to be so much fun. I want to get to so many books. I'm going to be doing tons of live sprints this coming month too for it because I really need to focus on reading. So, yeah, I cannot wait. Let me know down in the description below if you plan on reading any of these books as well or what you are most looking forward to read this month. And make sure you like the video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future content, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!